You want to be successful, but you don't want the dark that comes with it. You want to shine, but you don't want to struggle. Everybody wants the glory, but nobody wants the grind. You see the results, the cars, the money, the recognition, but you don't see the nights behind it. You don't see the early mornings when the alarm goes off and your body screams, "Stay in bed." You don't see the moments when doubt whispers in your ear and faith is the only thing keeping you going. You don't see the times when you're alone, when nobody's clapping, nobody's checking on you, and you still have to show up for yourself. That's the part people don't understand. Success isn't built under lights, it's built in the dark. The dark is that space where everything is quiet, where your friends stop calling, where nobody believes in you anymore. It's where your dreams are tested, your character is exposed, and your purpose is refined. Most people don't make it out of that space because they think the darkness means failure. But that's not what it means. The dark is not your punishment, it's your preparation. It's where you learn how to work without being seen, how to move without validation, how to believe without proof. It's in the dark that your foundation gets built brick by brick, sacrifice by sacrifice, while nobody's watching. See, everybody wants to perform in the light, but not everybody wants to practice in the dark. Everybody wants the microphone, but nobody wants the silence that comes before the moment. You've got to understand, success doesn't happen when you're celebrated. It happens when you're consistent. It's in those unseen moments when you make the decision to keep going after another failure, another setback, another disappointment. It's in those moments when the voice in your head tells you to quit and you answer back, "Not today." That's where you're built. That's where greatness starts to take shape. The dark is not pretty. It's ugly, it's uncomfortable, it's full of pain and uncertainty. But that's exactly why it's necessary, because the dark teaches you what comfort never could. It strips away your ego. It breaks down your excuses. It forces you to decide if you're doing this because it's easy or because it matters. You learn to fight differently in the dark, not for recognition, but for transformation. You learn to stop depending on people to believe in you because you start believing in yourself. And that's when something powerful happens. Your hunger starts to grow. Your purpose starts to speak louder than your pain. You've got to fall in love with the process that nobody sees. You've got to be okay with being unseen, unheard, unappreciated for a while, because the dark is where your discipline is born. It's where your habits are formed. It's where your spirit learns how to endure. When you can push yourself without applause, when you can stay focused without results, when you can keep grinding with nothing but faith, that's when you become dangerous. That's when success becomes inevitable, and the truth is, the dark never really goes away. Even when you make it, even when you're standing in the light, there will still be shadows, because success doesn't erase struggle, it multiplies it. The higher you go, the harder it gets. The light exposes everything, and if you didn't build strength in the dark, the light will break you. That's why you need those seasons of silence, those seasons where nobody knows your name, because that's where you develop the kind of strength that doesn't crumble under pressure. When you're in the dark, it's going to feel lonely. It's going to feel like you're forgotten, but don't mistake silence for absence. Just because nobody sees you doesn't mean you're not growing. A seed doesn't grow in sunlight, it grows underground, hidden, buried, alone. But when the time is right, it breaks through the dirt and the world finally sees what was happening all along. That's you. You're that seed. The dark is not your burial ground. It's your birthplace. It's the proof that something is being formed inside you. You've just got to trust it. Stop rushing your process. Stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10. They had their dark season too, you just didn't see it. You didn't see their struggle, their rejection, their tears. You only see the light, not the grind that got them there. Everybody wants to win, but not everybody's willing to wait. You've got to be patient enough to let the dark do its work. You can't microwave greatness, it's slow, cooked in discipline and pain. There's going to be a day when the light finally shines on you. When the recognition comes, when the opportunities appear, when people start calling your name. And in that moment, they'll think you came out of nowhere. They'll say you're lucky, they'll say it happened overnight. But you'll know the truth. You'll know about the dark, the long nights, the sacrifices, the pain, the loneliness. You'll know about the countless times you wanted to quit but didn't, and that's what will make your success real. Because you didn't skip the dark, you survived it. You can't build something lasting in the light if it wasn't built in the dark. That's the difference between those who last and those who fade. The ones who last, they've been through something. They've been broken and rebuilt. They've been tested and toughened. They don't crumble when the storm comes because they've already been through worse. So if you're in the dark right now, keep going. Don't run from it. Don't curse it. Embrace it. The dark is not there to break you. It's there to build you. It's the place where your strength, your faith, and your purpose are being formed. The world might not see it yet, but one day they will. And when the light finally hits you, it'll be clear success wasn't born in front of people. It was built behind closed doors, in silence, in pain, in the dark. Everybody wants to win, but nobody wants to look foolish while trying. Everybody wants to be great, but nobody wants to go through the stage where greatness looks ugly. The truth is, before you look like success, you're going to look like a mess. Before people respect your grind, they're going to laugh at it. Before they call you brilliant, they'll call you crazy. That's the part of success nobody wants to talk about, the part where you're misunderstood, overlooked, and doubted by everyone around you. You've got to be willing to be ugly before you're great. Because success doesn't start with a spotlight, it starts with struggle. See, people love the result but hate the process. They love the story after it's finished, not while it's being written. They see the confidence, but not the insecurity that came before it. They see the achievement, but not the thousand small failures that built it. And that's what makes most people quit. They can't handle the messy middle. They want to look perfect while they're learning. They want to look strong while they're growing, but growth doesn't look good. Growth hurts. Growth embarrasses you. Growth exposes your weaknesses. You've got to be okay looking like you don't have it all together while you're building the version of you that does. You're going to have days when your dream looks impossible. You're going to have moments when you give everything you've got and still lose. And when that happens, people will start to whisper. They'll question your choices. They'll tell you to be realistic, to slow down, to quit. But that's when you've got to remind yourself, this is part of the process. This is what it looks like before it looks good. Nobody skips this part. Every champion, every leader, every success story you admire, they all had a chapter that didn't look impressive. They all had a season where nobody believed in them. They all had moments when it looked like they were failing. That's the cost of growth. You've got to be willing to look awkward, to look out of place, to look like you're losing while you're learning. Because you're not failing, you're forming. Every mistake you make, every no you hear, every setback you face, it's shaping you. It's teaching you things comfort never could. The pain is the polish. The rejection is the redirection. The embarrassment is the evidence that you're moving forward. You can't grow and look good doing it. You can't transform and stay comfortable. You can't become great and still be worried about what people think of you. You've got to understand, success doesn't care how it looks. It only cares how much it costs. and the cost is humility. The cost is being misunderstood. The cost is being willing to look like a fool while you learn how to win. There will be seasons when you'll have nothing to show for your effort but your endurance. Seasons when you'll be doing the work and still doubting yourself. Seasons when you'll be walking alone because nobody else sees the vision you see. That's not failure, that's foundation. The ugly seasons are the ones that make you real. They strip away your pride and reveal your purpose. Don't be afraid to be laughed at. Don't be afraid to be doubted. Let people talk. Let them think you're wasting your time. Because one day those same people who laughed will quote you. The same ones who doubted you will ask for your help. They'll see the results, but they'll never understand the ridicule, the pain, and the sacrifice that came before it. You'll stand there smiling, not because it was easy, but because you survived the part that wasn't pretty. And you've got to keep reminding yourself, no one remembers the ugly part once you make it. Nobody remembers the rejection, the nights you cried, the days you worked with nothing to show for it. They only see the finished product, but you'll remember what it took to keep showing up when you felt like quitting. You'll remember how many times you had to clap for yourself when nobody else would. You'll remember how many times you had to fake confidence until you finally built it for real. And that memory, that's what gives you gratitude. That's what makes your success meaningful. There's nothing beautiful about grinding when you're exhausted. There's nothing pretty about chasing a dream with an empty bank account. There's nothing glamorous about failing over and over again while you watch others succeed faster. But all of that, the struggle, the failure, the loneliness, that's the real work. That's the part that makes you unshakable. You can't skip it. You can't hide from it. You've got to walk through it with your head high, knowing that every ugly moment is part of something beautiful being built. People love to celebrate the glow up, but they forget the grind that came before it. They want the final picture without the blurry background. But you've got to fall in love with the part nobody claps for. You've got to embrace the struggle, the stumbles, the silence. Because if you can't handle being overlooked, you'll never be ready to be seen. If you can't handle being mocked, you'll never handle being admired. The ugly is what humbles you. The struggle is what shapes you. So don't run from the ugly seasons of your journey. Don't hide your flaws or your failures. Wear them, own them. Let them remind you that greatness doesn't come from looking perfect. It comes from being persistent. You don't need to look like success to be on your way to it. You just need to keep showing up when it's hard, keep working when it's thankless, keep believing when it's embarrassing. Because that's how you earn your greatness. That's how you build something real. You've got to be willing to look ugly before you're great, because in the end, what once looked like struggle will shine as strength. Everybody wants to win until it's time to do what winners actually do. Everybody talks about greatness until it's time to do the things that great people do consistently, quietly, and without applause. See, success doesn't come from talking, it comes from doing. It doesn't come from excitement, it comes from endurance. It doesn't come from flashes of motivation. It comes from a relentless grind that nobody sees. You've got to be willing to outlast your emotions, outwork your excuses, and outgrind your distractions. That's what separates people who dream from people who achieve consistency when nobody's watching. You've got to understand this. Hard work isn't something you do when it's convenient. It's something you live when it's uncomfortable. You can't wait until you feel like it. You can't wait until the timing is right. You can't wait for the mood to hit you. Because if your grind depends on your feelings, you'll never make it. Your feelings will tell you to quit. Your feelings will tell you to take the day off. Your feelings will tell you that you've done enough. But greatness doesn't care about feelings. Greatness only responds to discipline. You've got to show up every single day, not just on the good days, not just when you're hyped, but when you're tired, frustrated, empty, and invisible. That's when it counts the most, because that's when most people quit. That's when most people start negotiating with their goals. They start saying, maybe I don't need to go that hard, but you do. That's the difference between average and extraordinary, the ability to push through when everything in you says stop. See, success is not about one big moment. It's about 1,000 small ones that nobody claps for. It's about waking up early when nobody knows. It's about staying late when everyone else leaves. It's about putting in the hours when the world isn't watching. Those are the invisible victories that lead to visible results. Everybody wants the recognition, but few are willing to earn it. You've got to understand consistency isn't glamorous, but it's powerful. It's the quiet repetition of excellence that builds momentum, confidence, and credibility. You can't keep planting seeds and pulling them up because you don't see results fast enough. You've got to trust the process. You've got to water the work even when it feels dry. You've got to keep showing up because one day everything you've been doing in the dark will shine in the light. But it won't happen if you keep quitting every time it gets hard. You can't be committed and convenient at the same time. You've got to choose. When you say you want success, what you're really saying is you're ready to do the same boring, difficult, unglamorous stuff every day, even when it looks like it's not working. Because that's what it takes. The grind isn't pretty, it's repetition, it's sacrifice, it's lonely. There's no applause for staying consistent. Nobody congratulates you for discipline. But the people who stay consistent, those are the ones who end up being celebrated. There's something powerful about a person who doesn't quit. Someone who shows up when it's raining, when it's late, when it's inconvenient. Because that's what it means to be committed, doing it even when the emotion has died. You've got to be addicted to progress, not praise. You've got to be obsessed with growth, not glory. The world doesn't reward people who start strong. It rewards those who finish. Let me tell you something. Success doesn't come with shortcuts. There's no elevator. You've got to take the stairs. You've got to climb every single day, and sometimes it'll feel like you're not moving. But what you don't realize is that every step you take, every rep, every effort, it's adding up. Even when nobody sees it, even when nobody thanks you, even when nobody believes in you, it's building something inside you. You're becoming tougher, wiser, sharper. You're building a version of yourself that can't be broken by failure. Most people stop when they get tired. Winners stop when they're done. You've got to push past tired, past fear, past comfort. You've got to work like you're hungry, like you've got something to prove not to them, but to yourself. You owe it to your dream to give it everything you've got every single day. Because success doesn't come to people who want it. It comes to people who work for it day after day, without excuse, without hesitation, without needing someone to remind them why. And here's the truth. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to wake you up, push you, or make you keep going. This is your race. This is your responsibility. You've got to be your own motivation. You've got to look in the mirror and remind yourself who you said you were going to be. The grind is lonely, but it's necessary. Because when you finally win, when you finally succeed, you'll know you earned every inch of it. You'll know the sweat, the tears, the silence, it all meant something. So keep showing up, keep pushing when it's hard. Keep working when it's quiet, because one day the same people who doubted your grind will ask how you did it. And you'll smile, not because it was easy, but because you never stopped. You'll realize that success isn't about luck, looks, or timing. It's about staying consistent when others quit. Because success doesn't belong to the most talented, it belongs to the most committed. The ones who keep going, no matter how ugly the process looks. And that's how you win, not in the spotlight, but in the shadows where nobody's watching and you refuse to stop.